one of the things I'm happy to announce today is that we're looking to get input from all the ballers that have played within the Prem this year. There's a form which I'll put like a QR code up here that you can just attach, fill in, and basically give your top players of the Britball season this year. And over the time period before the next season, we'll release who the top players of the Britball scene has been. So get in it, hit the form that's up there in the corner. Otherwise, check the description. And if you check the description, it will also be there. If you're looking to support and help the channel grow with the vision and what we're trying to do here, I'll also put a link here to provide some support towards the channel and what we're trying to build. Otherwise, that'll be in the description too. But if you're a baller, you know you're a baller, or you have some ballers that you want to show love, let's go!
All right, moving on to the women's game, which was outside of the youth game. Both the adult finals, they were fiercely contested games. Like even the women's game won in 21-20. It was very tight. I know having spoken to. Go ahead, sir. I know having spoken to some of the girls on the Solent Thrashers, like it was winning it. They felt vindicated them, and it was a little bit of a relief because they've had some controversy, particularly because of the voided game. Because generally, if you have a void, well, I imagine they purposely called it void, but if you have some sort of forfeiture or game that you don't fulfill, you instantly get relegated.
Right.
And there was a ruling given by BAFA that essentially allowed them to be in the
to make it there, yeah,
to be in the playoff structure. But they beat all the top teams within the league. They had a tight game against London Warriors initially, 2027, the second game of their season. But then they beat London Warriors in the semi-final to make the final, and they beat Birmingham Lions in their last game of the season to be there. So they've beaten the people that have won it repeatedly, and then they finally managed to get a W. So like, yeah.
Shout out 2024 Bucks Coach of the Year, Georgia Teague, for winning the championship.
Hundreds. Because I haven't spoken to her, I know that she was like.
I don't think nobody played more football than Georgia.
Yeah, man. Like,
Georgia played on a men's team, a women's team. She coached a flag team.
She loves it, and she's about it. And like, yeah, and it's a reminder that like getting to the championship alone is hard. Winning is hard. Like I think Georgia's been playing for a long time, and like it's the first time she's got to a final, first time that she's won, and that is a culmination of your efforts throughout the years. Like unless you play for like Warriors, where you might get to the final every other year or every year, where you get more opportunities.
It's not normal.
There are hundreds, if not thousands, of players that play this sport never see a playoff.
It's not normal.
See a playoff.
It's not normal.
Final. So like, yeah, it's because it's hard that it's appreciated. And congrats to the South.
Solent won this year. Birmingham won last year. Warriors won the year before that. That's the kind of parity I'm talking about.
Yeah. Because this is because it's been 3 seasons of 9. So yeah, each season has been a different winner. So yeah, and it's always funny because Birmingham had been running away with things.
Yeah.
And then it's just funny now seeing how everything is shaping up.
Dude, I'm telling you, post-COVID, like things just look different for everybody. Post-COVID, things look different for everyone. So.
And they came back from behind. They were losing at halftime.
Oh, they were losing?
Yeah, they were losing at halftime. So at the bottom, we have basically the quarterly scores. So Lions were up 20-6 at halftime.
So I remember watching it, like, I mean, we'll get to the hotel incident, but as we were getting to the hotel, as we're at the hotel, I remember I was watching it, and then I was like, oh, Birmingham winning, turn it off, standard. And then I remember coming back a few hours after being around Cov, and then I'm looking like Instagram, I was like, wait, Thrashers won? What the hell? I was like, what the heck? But big them up because they had a big recruitment drive. They had a lot of change, I think, at the start of the season, because I know the previous head coach stepped down, a new head coach,
Dave Gibbs.
No.
Oh, you're talking about
for the women.
Women. Well, Solent as a whole.
I guess, Solent as a whole. And then now they've won. And yeah, you can't take that away from them. They're champions.
And shout out Dion Harhoff. We used to play with him at Coventry Phoenix.
Their OC?
Tamworth Phoenix. Yeah, he's their OC.
Fair enough.
He's their OC, yeah. So he got the win. And congrats to them. A new name on the women's Britbowl. So I think bar Warriors and Birmingham, has any other team won it? Well, not the Nines, obviously, if it's only been 3 years, but I think even generally, like, bar those two.
It's usually just happens.
Yeah, you get like I know T-side is generally quite strong as well. So.
But it's been good. And I think one good thing about the women's game this year is like, I know early on in like our first episode, we spoke about how it's basically been dominated by Lions and the Warriors. Mm-hmm. This year, it was truly competitive. Like there were a lot of tight games, like between Teesside and Birmingham, Southampton. Outside of Manchester Titans, in in the women's game here, like who were basically the league whipping boys, like whipping girls, sorry. Like they were getting worked. What's so funny?
Just every time you say something like this, I just feel bad for the recipient of it.
No, they were. They got worked.
Like you're not wrong, but it's just bro.
Yeah.
Like, when was the last time you said whipping boy? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
just
Django.
Or like you're losing 44-0, 36-0. Like you're the whipping girl. Like that's what it is, just factually. So like, but there's always next year. So but it was great how competitive the league was. So congrats again to the Southampton Thrashers. Now we get to the final. I put it as adult men. I know technically it's adult mixed, but like adult men final. And we have two key players from both teams. So I'll let you guys have the floor. Say how you feel. What I have is obviously the image, the scores in each quarter, and then basically on the either side is your journey to the final. So,
You want to go first? You're the winner.
sure. Yeah, I mean, look, being in it was I've been there before, so it's for me it's another game against Warriors, just has slightly higher stakes. But if everybody's doing their job, then we have a chance. And I say it like we have a chance because there's a team that has had sustained dominance, and you're going up against the best. Man, first quarter, that big play to AJ, we're like, all right, cool. Starting with a bang. Boom, the ball's out. Oh my God. All right. Like, and it's not that, because AJ is pretty sure-handed, you know what I mean? And AJ be taking
He was
blows.
off balance, innit?
But he be taking blows, bro, because Tonye blasted him in one of the kick returns. And like, it happens, but he just pops right up. And you just never expect it, but it happens. And you're like, all right, cool. Yeah, man, just going through that game, like, we have a game plan, things that we're trying to stop. We're seeing all the things that we're trying to stop. We're trying to call these plays, and we know that, Andy's back for the game. And who's number 30? What's his name? Uriah. He's a big boy, tough to bring down as well. So we know that that's there. And then, D as a running threat as well. And to be honest, like, just there's so many things that happen in that game that you're just like, there is just a massive chance we don't win this game. Like, Henry Rowland, like, I'll be honest, through Henry Rowland's like career, I've always thought maybe a bit overrated as a tight end. Henry Rowland as a receiver, he was
Different gravy.
He was giving one of my young boys the business that game.
Oh, number 14. Number 14.
That's the
I'm not gonna say his name. I know it. I'm not gonna say his.
But to the point where it's like, yeah, man, we're just gonna target you.
I ain't gonna lie.
Henry
that was a
Rowland
painful
giving
watch.
that boy the business, bro. And like, we all know, like, it's not. We can see it. And I'm like, all right, cool. Now this is what I see when you man tell me he's an ELF player, because and it's not that the corner wasn't there. It's that he going up, climbing the ladder, getting this ball. Like,
one thing I rate about Henry is that he does like elite receiver stuff that he's meant to do. Someone I always thought that does that kind of thing as well is Joe Hamilton. Like, you can't, as a corner, you can't just casually go through the play. Like, you have to deal with the play till the end.
At every point, you gotta be in there,
because it's very easy for the ball to look too high for both of us and just be like,
it's too high for me.
And then you see this person landing on you with the ball. It's you don't want that. So like, I give a lot of credit, but I agree with you. He's definitely like an X and not.
Yeah, Henry was, everyone was giving us the business, bro. And there was
one play where I think the Warriors get flagged, and
mate, I was literally just thinking about that play. So I'll talk through that play. Yeah. So Alex Phillips, the center. Alex Phillips gets called for holding on me.
Right, okay.
I'm going to say this now live. It was not a hold. Now, Alex looked at me and was like, yo, I did not hold you. Now, everybody understand, I'm not going to say nothing.
I didn't say I did.
So it's standard. Alex knows I'm not going to say nothing. But That it was not a hold, and I've got the video. I clicked.
I can see why it was called though.
No,
I can see why.
bro. I looked through the thing.
I agree with you. I don't think it's a hold, but I can see why it was called. And it was called because you were so far in the backfield. That's why.
No. It was not. I promise you. This play that they called it on, we were moving laterally. I'm not catching somebody who gets outside of the tackle. I'm not that guy, right? Alex we're going along. There is nothing there. He gets flagged. Now he's like, yo, that's not a hold. And I'm there like, I'm looking at him. I'm looking him in the eye. He can see from the look in my eye. But I agree with you. But I must shut the hell up. Then D goes, yo, this is.
I remember that. I remember that.
So this is why I've said this is the play that
I remember that.
D goes. So D starts talking. He gets flagged.
Yeah, I remember that.
Then my defensive line and linebackers, one of them is like, yeah, I'm like, shut the hell up. Don't say nothing. Like, just shut up. One of my linebackers is going, yeah, guys, I said, shut up. Don't say, keep quiet. Alex turns to me and he's like, yo, Alex, you shut up too. They will flag. And I'm like, and Alex is like, I'm like, because me and Alex, like, bro, we nose and center. We every rep. We talking. That's my guy. That's one of my football guys. I really like Alex. But I'm telling him, you two shut the hell up. And it wasn't from a place of disrespect. I know this ref. He gonna flag me. I've been flagged for laughing in a different direction because he felt like I was laughing at him. Now, me and the ref now, we're cool because I know his tendencies, bro. If he look my way, look away. Don't say nothing. Don't smile. In fact, if you can look at the ground, that would be ideal because he ready. He ready. And so from that play, right, they've moved them back 20 yards, right? 25 yards. So 10 yards for holding, then 15 for unsportsmanlike. The next play, deep bomb to Henry Rowland. They get more than the yards.
And you know what?
More than the yards.
What's crazy about this is I'm now watching this situation like this is just really easy. Like as a DB, you just line up. You don't even have to get into your stance. Like just line up all the way back there and just wait for them to come to you. And then surely, like I see this guy right now and I'm like, he's not gonna do the most obvious play. And Henry just goes up there, brings it down.
Man.
First down, let's go.
Man. And I'm looking at Alex, and Alex is like, well, Prem. So yeah, like, you know, that whole thing happened. And I mean, Andy Owosu is a special player. I'm just mentioning random stuff now because Andy Owosu, like, nobody can talk worse about me than I talk about myself. Right? But Andy, I don't know how he does it. He just ducks out. And I look like I'm trying to elbow him. I'm trying to.
What's so interesting about that play is I've seen a lot of people like receivers where they are running normally forward and then they sort of like jump forward and bounce back. I've seen that where the whole body comes out. What I've never seen is and Andy kind of sees you over his shoulder and he just does this like, and he's still got the ball and just keeps moving. I'm like, that looks crazy. Like just dips his shoulder.
Nice. It was nice. But yeah, man, like and then obviously like the scores are close. We're like waiting. There's that really long stand, and we're just like, okay, offense need to score. They get their score, and then we're back. Or no, they get the fumble. There's a fumble. You guys recover it. The Emmanuel Bauer fumble.
So you guys scored first.
Yeah,
and then we got the ball back, 3 and out. We get back on. Bauer fumbles it. And then we get back on. Then
we come back on. Felix and me force a pressure. Felix forces the fumble. George Rhymes recover it. First play back in. Like after the Bauer fumble, Emmanuel fumble, D has his fumble. We get the ball back, and now it's like, all right,
and the game is done.
Ice the game time.
This was an interesting game because I feel like in part the Warriors lost it, but unhandedly Bristol won it. And I say the Warriors lost it because like I feel like every time the Warriors had a chance to get away, they just did something that kept you guys in the game, and then they kept it.
They stopped throwing the ball to Henry.
Well, that was partly, but it's like in the first half they're up 21-6 or 21-9. They're up 21-9, It's literally the last 30 seconds of the game. You then have a punt that your guy touches on the 2-yard line. You guys punch that in. That's what makes it like
I think that
21-16.
that was very
21-16.
critical. That was very critical.
Then in the third quarter, where the Warriors offense are now putting drives together. They're putting drives together, and they have one. I want to say it was a Hoss concept, where they basically have the hitch from the outside and the seam from number 2 on both sides. And D throws a nice ball. I don't know his name. I think it might be number 7. And the ball hits his hand and he just drops it.
No, that's Ben. That's number 1.
Oh, okay, number 1. Yeah, the ball hits his hand and he just drops it. But that would have also taken them 2 scores away. And I feel like every time that like the Warriors were in the ascendancy or they were moving the ball well, they just didn't have the clinicality they normally have to just then see it out. Because like when the game you go in and it's 21-16, you're like, oh yeah, we're in the game. It's very different from 21-9. It's very different from 21-9. In the third quarter, when you have that opportunity to score and you don't, and then you guys score again, or you settle for a field goal, that's what also happened. And I say that they lost it in that sense, but I also say you guys won it because I felt that the Warriors' game plan, defensive game plan, they knew their opponent and they executed.
Yeah.
Because what I found interesting was that it was evident that the Warriors, their plan is like, we are not going to be beaten by this pass. Like that's the goal. We're not going to be beaten by the pass. They had a light box. They played a 5-man box throughout the entire game. So they were basically one less defender. And generally, they basically accepted that, okay, cool, we might end up giving 4-5 yards a run unless one of our D-line or box players basically makes up for someone and makes a play, which they did on occasion. But that's fine because we just don't want to get beaten by the pass. And I felt that if Bristol had chosen to commit to the run, rather than what they did is where they ran just to keep the Warriors honest, but they really wanted to throw the ball, that the game, they could have had more control of the game. Because the only time in which you guys chose to truly commit to the run was once you guys got the final lead, 27-24, and then basically for the fourth quarter, you were like, yeah, we're just going to run this ball. We're just going to run this ball. And the fact that Warriors were defending with a 5-man box and how good your O-line is, I thought that if you committed to it, you might have had your sticky situation where you might end up with like 3rd and 4th situations. But I think on the balance of it, you guys would have been able to run the ball.
I will say though, I don't necessarily know if I've watched some of it back. I've watched the game back, obviously, but not necessarily watching our offense. I watch more of our defense, right? The kind of plan where it looks like a light box, but if we have any motion, one of the outside backers creeps up to the line, right? So there's a 3-man front, you get the shift, one of the outside backers creeps up to the line, and the other outside backer who's outside the box is never truly outside the box. Like he's ready to kind of fold back in once they have that 4-man line. That to me was like one of the most brilliant things that I've seen because it was very kind of like multiple in how they wanted to play. They were ready to adjust right there and then, and you had the bodies to be able to play it. So you end up playing with like Arthur could potentially play in space but fold into the box, or DeAndre could potentially play in space and fold into the box. You got Rob Warren. Rio outside? Rio was outside the box.
Rio's outside, yeah.
Yeah, so and even then, like if you go and you watch like the first Blitz Warriors game, a Bristol Aztecs Warriors game, it always looks like they got one man in the box. They'll put Rob Warren out the box, but he fold in immediately. So it kind of messes with the blocking schemes as well when you're like, all right, look, it looks like a light box. We've identified who we're going to take, and then that person come on block because he folded into the box.
No, that's fair. That's fair. And I think on occasion they did that. I did say light box from what I've seen on the tape. It was definitely that they only had 5 people committed to it. But I do agree. One thing that the Warriors did very well, I thought, was the way they adjust. And because if you watch the tape in the first quarter, they committed to defending with 5. But in the first quarter, what they did is that they had 4 D linemen and one linebacker essentially. Yeah. And they realized that as that was happening, that the Bristol were able to move the ball relatively easier than they were willing to accept. Yeah. So in the second quarter, they switched up. They still wanted to defend with 5, but they had basically 3 D linemen and 2 in the box. And there, although they were able to move the ball, it was definitely a lot harder. And I think so. Yeah, the adjustments that they made was good. But as I said, like I felt that sort of plan might have also been a similar plan, and I can't remember because the tape's no longer on YouTube now because I would have checked it. I think that might have been a similar plan that was run against what's it called? What's the team? Manchester. Manchester, when they like to throw the ball, because they also, from the tape when I watched it, I remember the Warriors having what I believe was a light box against them. But the difference between Manchester and Bristol in this occasion is that Manchester they're willing to commit to whatever you give them. So like you give them a light box, they'll just run the ball, and that's what they did. And but in this world, they gave you a light box, but you guys wanted to throw the ball, so you didn't run it until the end. But
Yeah.
it was a very interesting game, and I enjoyed it. That was my perspective on it.
It was good.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it was a fun game. Like I've been saying, obviously you want to win, but at the end of the day, there has to be one winner. And if it's not us, I'm glad it was Bristol because they've grown a lot. And I remember saying this. I remember Andy said it in his MVP speech last year that they will get one. And I remember saying it to T off camera.
You said it on the first or second that
I said
the
that
time will come.
like if Bristol win, I would always back my Warriors, 100%. But if Bristol won, I'll say Bristol were going to win one in the next 2 to 3 years. I always said that, and it just happened. That happened to me this year.
T's reaction was, "Oh yeah, great." After I retire, right?
Yeah, after I retired, and now look at you.
But
It was a very tough game because I guess you are a team, so you cannot. There's no pointing fingers if buts or maybes. We are a team, like because
anyone could have won that game at any point. In that.
100%. But the thing is that like if you look at how the game was, really and truly, defense only conceded one touchdown, which was that one. Is it Tim Lucas?
Yeah.
That was, can't lie, great play.
It was
Like,
double.
Tony
post.
was there, just one step behind, and he caught that ball out of the air and great play. But besides that, we were just in bad field position in terms of that botched punt.
Yeah.
And then obviously the return on the fumble, but that showed you that defense. We held it down for.
yeah,
That was the longest stand I have been in my football career. For 2 yards, all you guys needed was 2 yards,
Mate.
it took.
We was there like, dude, just please give a manual.
It
How many
took
downs
like
were-
8-9 plays to get 2 yards.
Because there was like a flag at some
Yeah,
point.
but
then you get triggered.
overall,
triggered.
even though like it was you had the flags and stuff. At the end of the day, all you guys needed was 2 yards.
Yeah, firm facts.
Yeah.
We was like, from once again, we're all defensive players here. You see that, you looking at the offense, like,
Are you man all right?
dude, score. Like, just and you got what was hilarious, right? Is there's like so some of the Hall of Fame guys, right? They was in the back corner of the stands, right? And they giving it large, bro. Like they shouting everything. All you hear is "Run the damn ball," and I'm there like, please run the ball.
Wasn't that my man that was chatting with us that said Spoonie jinxed the situation?
Oh, I can't remember. I'm not gonna lie. Well, what I thought was definitely interesting is that in the red zone was like the one time where the Warriors changed up and they would essentially have 5 people on the line.
Yeah,
compared
bro.
to the and then that was what was funny is that's the situation where Bristol will be like, okay, cool, we're in the red zone or the goal zone, we're gonna commit to the run. And I was like,
but even like the way we commit to the run, like we bring in like our running QB, and then we want to send this guy in motion, that guy in motion, and shout out to Rian Hudson, the OC, right? First year OC, and like he come through part way through the year, like he's a kid. He hates when I call him, but he's an actual child. He's a kid. But like
He hates it when anyone calls him that.
huh?
He hates it when anyone calls him
Yeah,
that.
bro. He is an actual child, like 21 years old. Like, and he's a great football mind. But it's one of those where like it's kind of like the old school meeting the new school, where like new school's like, okay, we can motion, we can do this, and then we're gonna bring him out and da. And it's like you just need like an old school offensive line coach, be like run dive. Run dive
Yes,
4
yeah.
times. My guys will get there. Just run
On
dive.
one of them attempts, they're gonna get it in.
Yeah, just run dive. We'll get a half yard every time, and then it'll be a touchdown. But yeah,
Shout out to Dave Pemberton winning Britball with 3 different teams. I think he's the
3
first
times with
person.
3
the mercenary.
Yeah. It's difficult to do it, isn't it? It's difficult to
Facts,
achieve.
yeah.
It is difficult.
What teams was it with?
Knicks, Manchester, and Bristol.
Oh, so he's been
Yeah,
around.
so he hasn't played for Warriors, and then there are only certain teams that have actually been in the playoffs those years.
Well, he's down. So he's been to 5
Finals?
finals. He's
No.
won 3. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's been to
Yeah,
17,
he's fine.
18,
He's been
19,
to all 3 of ours.
23, 25.
made all 3 of ours. The 3 times we got to the final, he was there.
Yeah, 17, 18, 19.
Was he not with you last year as well?
No, he was in Manchester. He
Oh,
lost in
sorry, he
semi-finals.
was in Manchester last.
Yeah.
No, but Prem is a great guy as well. But yeah, no, fun game, and yeah, I didn't feel sad really.
So I was gonna say, so Spoonie is announcing that congratulations to Dave Pemberton. He's like, if Bristol win, he'll be the first person to da 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 da. Boom. That's when 28 hits Bauer and he fumbles the ball. And like a few of the Hall of Fame guys like, you jinxed him. Like, fortunately, like you guys sorted that situation out.
But no, it was a very fun game, very very fun game. But he definitely felt it. I mean, I'm still here with like cracked rib. Like,
wow.
Cracked
it was-
rib.
Yeah, but like that's what you do it, man.
Game.
It's the game.
Yeah.
The game's a game for sure.
It was
Nah,
one you
don't-
couldn't take your eyes off. For real. Like, watching on the stream, it's like normally when you have games on, you just leave it for a bit. You're like, let's see what the score is after. This one couldn't take my eyes off it. Like there was action at every second.
No, it was an excellent game. And congrats again to Bristol.
Yeah.
And
Thank you, man.
You guys haven't lost in Orange.
We
Bro,
haven't.
it's not orange,
We haven't. Like orange crush jerseys is what I've been calling it. The orange crush jerseys. But yeah, no, like don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people that do not like these jerseys because or the kit just because it's so orange.
No,
Wow.
it grew on me a lot. I can't lie. When I first saw it, it was a bit.
It's
Yeah.
kind of do you, like I think if we were to do like color rush, obviously ours would be orange, but we do the color rush against Manchester Titans with their blue because it's just like a very blue jersey, like a sky blue, a very orange. Like this is Nigerian Fanta. No, sorry,
Yeah.
this is Nigerian Fanta. This is like American Fanta, orange crush, like just very very orange jerseys. But yeah, we're undefeated in orange, man, and we'll take it. We'll take it.
And of course, both of you guys bored, but you managed to make the little stat list
Yeah.
release from Bristol. Stat attack, 5 tackles. T.
Yeah,
I'm gonna, you know what? T, obviously, I've played with you and against you a lot over my time. And when I was early on in my career, like I knew of you, but I didn't really know you. Like when I watched this game, I was like, oh, you know what? T can still ball. Like,
And then he
T
was
can still ball.
fanboying beside you, man.
T
Like,
can
I
still ball.
appreciate
I
that,
was like,
man.
I was like,
I
fair enough.
appreciate that.
Because obviously I don't get to see a lot of the Southern games because a lot of it's not streamed and you haven't been able to play for the Bristol. But like in this final, yeah, no, you were a dominant force.
Listen,
Like, it was-
I won't lie. First half, man, I was struggling.
I mean, you saying
I was
Yeah, what you
struggling.
saying?
So funny. It's not quite junior level, but I was no.
No, I know what you're talking about.
So I was wearing a long sleeve, and I prefer to wear long sleeve. I just always have. But I was wearing long sleeve plus this ripped up shirt as well, plus my jersey, obviously pads. And fam, I just remember like early on, like the first play I got into
I remember this.
was where like I tried to elbow Andy, like, or maybe that wasn't my first play, but it was all of those drives collectively, bro. I just was hot. You know what I mean? Like, I was just mad hot, and I've had the first rep. Will Carroll, I'm pretty sure he's double teamed, tried to chip the hell out of me, and that always, take when I'm playing those tackles is not for the faint of heart. I'm just hot, bro. Like,
Bro, I was worried. Like, I was worried because I think after the first special teams play,
bro,
you came and sat down. Like,
bro,
you're
breathing.
So I think defense is going to go and huddle at the side or something, and T's come to sit down on his own, like on the sideline. And I'm like, no way. Like, is he injured? Like, the game was just started.
Bro.
I came to come and see this. You know what I mean?
Nah,
And he's
that's
just there,
it.
like on the side.
I
like-
was every time I come off in the first half, especially, like, I would just go find the nearest bench, bro, because and I'm not in terrible shape, but I'm not in the best shape. Like, you know what I mean? I'm a hefty boy. If I've got a lot of weight, I don't need to be carrying. But I was also just hot. Like, so playing all those plays, come off, and then Wolf is looking at me like, yo, T, you need to go back in. I'm like, nah, bro.
Don't need to.
Nah,
I don't need to.
Stop doing that. Nah. Like, in my mind, and I say the young boys got to be able to do this. Now, our D-line wasn't young by any means because I'm 33, Driss is 34, Felix, I'm pretty sure is 33, Trafford is 33,
Hello's
Adam
31.
Woodward is the first one that you get to who's under 20, George Ryan under 30, George Ryan's under 30. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's an older D-line, but yeah, when it got to halftime, we went into the place from. So I've stripped, like, I've taken off my jersey, taken off pads, taken off all the layers, and I'm in halftime shirtless the whole time. And people are like, yo, you okay? You done? I was like, yeah, bro, I've just been hot this whole time. So we come out in the second half and I'm like, all right, cool. Like I can feel the breeze now. Like I feel a bit better. And also the plan, there was just a lot more inside run. And I'm like, oh,
I don't have to go anywhere.
this is what I'm built for. Like you had me looking stupid in space. Let's see what happens like in the box. So, you know, obviously me and Alex have our battles. I think in that second half, I definitely got the best of him and just like on the interiors, because they brought in Emmanuel Blair. I'm like, I'm not letting you down block me anywhere. Same thing with Will Carra. And what's funny, we laugh about it, but from like a nose tackle perspective, if I know that the center, there's some sort of combo and they're trying to go up, or you're trying to run like some kind of stretch play or outside zone, and you're basically saying, oh, the backside person should reach, bro, I'm holding the hell out the center. You're not going nowhere. So obviously there's complaints, and you maybe someone will flag that as defensive holding, but as far as it looks to any ref, it's just the center and the nose kind of getting into it. So I'm not letting Alex go nowhere, and Will can't go nowhere. So this double team ain't going nowhere. And then when I get a one-on-one, I'm like, yeah, I'm winning this. I got the weirdest stance, like this frog stance, where I'm like straight through his chin so that I can get the knockback and then make plays. So I end up getting like, I think a tackle for loss on D. I had one on Uriah. I ended up getting my tackle. It was a good second half for me, to be fair. But yeah, no, I was happy with it, and obviously I finally got one. So getting a sack the last year in the final, I was like, okay, this will be my highlight. I had a sack in the Britbowl. In this game, I was like, I'll take it.
No, I love that. Love that. And then yeah, but that's it for the Britball coverage. All right, cool. And now we get into the E5s, as described here, full contact 5v5 American football, UK's toughest one-day gridiron tournament. It was the perennial or first ever event. We had two guys who were there in the flesh. Unfortunately, we couldn't make it. But yeah, Cedric, what was your views?
Shout out to Jordan
on the E5.
Well, I'm finna shout out the whole squad.
Oh, okay, wow. Oh, you got the phone out. You gotta make sure you get the name
I
right.
made sure, so I messaged Jordan. Tell me everybody's name who's a part of the organizers, because you guys deserve. You got to be well proud of the event. So just so that I get it out the way, the owners are Jordan Metcalf, and I'm sorry I'm using their full governance, but they white, they won't care. Josh Proud and Will Spark, and social media was run by Rose Wolford
and V.
Vanessa,
Shout out Big
V.
Yeah, shout out Lady V.
aka Mama Ariella. Listen, man, I love that baby.
Ariella's the cutest baby ever.
The cutest. Anyway, sorry, sidetrack. But yeah, no, that's the entire team, and obviously all of the refs. You know, it took a lot to put together, but I wanted to make sure that I get them by name, because they've done something that, as long as I've been playing, this has been one of the most like spectacular events that has been put on, and the people it brought in, like bringing guys out of retirement to play, young boys. I'm gonna let you go right now. But the one thing I want to say is, so everyone knows DJ Ogunkolati. So DJ, defensive tackle, DJ who was offensive lineman. DJ, I think it should be universal, but generally regarded as, for the time he played, he was the best lineman, because he got the job done and made GB on offensive line. Decided he wanted to play defensive line, got the job done, made it on defensive line. DJ was that guy. I got to watch DJ, right? My OG, I call him my big brother, because he was one of the first people I played with when I started. Go up against someone who I've been hyping up in Jaden. I saw it live and I was like, I can't believe this guy, right? And DJ, you know, DJ past his prime, come out of retirement to play all this kind of stuff. But like getting to see that live, like that's what the event did. That's the kind of matchup I got to see as just a true fanboy, and it was chef's kiss. What a day!
E5 for like, if you talk to anyone who was there, they'll tell you that it was the most fun day. Like, because I think leading up to it, people were a bit skeptical about how it was gonna work. Like, fives, contact. Like, how the hell is that gonna work? Like, that just sounds weird. Especially as a defensive lineman, you're like, how's that meant to work for me?
Yeah.
But like we were saying before, this showed like elite fives. They really meant elite fives. Like the emphasis on elite, because there was no reps off in terms of you can't. It's 5 people. So if one person doesn't do their job, you're cooked. Cooked.
People was getting cooked.
People were getting exposed. People who think that they're elite, thought that they're elite, got cooked when the time mattered. Yeah. And we have to big up Jordan, man, because he's done a thing here. Well, the whole team. But Jordan, I guess, yeah. I guess because Jordan's like the face of this. But like they've really done their thing with this. And this can really take off, especially with the first year that we were talking about, the people that brought out.
Yeah.
And now that it's gained all the attraction on social media as well, can't even imagine what's going to be like the next time.
Speaking of that,
I think it had like over 2 million impressions, right?
1.2 at least. I remember what they posted.
1.6 million views for the page. So the professional dashboard, I've literally got a screenshot here. Between the 22nd of August to the 20th of September, 1.6 million views, 12,000 interactions, 310 new followers, and 385 content you shared. Nuts.
No, it is nuts. It's very impressive.
No, and what's crazy is I was talking to V in the middle of the day, and she showed me. She was like, "Oh, it's at 1.2 million," which means that there was 400,000 from the point that she told me.
That's when I saw it. Yeah.
To Jordan sending me the stats this morning. Nuts.
No, it's very impressive. It's very impressive. There were times when like it was the only thing I was on my feed, right?
Yeah.
And that's fair play to them. They were getting content out, and it was good content. And I liked the way in which they went about it. Like, I know it's the first time I'm doing this event, but they acted like, yeah, this is the event. Like, we've been here and we've always been here. And when you do that, when you walk the walk, you got to back up and talk the talk. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to be there, but from everything I've heard, not just from like you guys who were down there, but even people, where people will get a chance to like sit and stew with stuff. Like they leave and then they go about. People that are posting a few hours a day after the event. It's all positive. It's all good, and they cleared a vision and they executed that, and it's beautiful to see. To be honest.
That man won, innit? But like, it was such a fun day. Like, I haven't had that much fun playing football in a while, I guess. And I guess it was worth coming out of retirement for it. And I was even saying it. People were joking about it. They're like, "Oh, if E5 came before, do you think you'll still be playing?" I'm like, hell yeah! Like, if this is a yearly thing, maybe I might strap up 1 or 2 times. Like, it's so fun.
No, it's good. It's good. Like, they had 2 divisions of 4 teams named there, and they even had a draft for it. So to help build the hype, they had a draft from Depth Chart, Tebs, and SJ.
I was number 1 draft it.
Yeah, you were.
I was number 1 draft it.
Oh, you were number 1.
Oh, you were number 1. Wow. Okay.
And then I found and someone stepped on my toe. I couldn't do it. I would have gone pro with my knee.
In the presence of a number 1 draft pick, and then media passes. Yeah, it was a great event, and I was following it vicariously through the Insta. So shout out. Would you say it was Vanessa that was running that?
Yeah, Vanessa and Rose.
Yeah, that Vanessa and Rose. Shout out to them because it was good. That there was a lot of content coming out. I was enjoying it. Like, as I said, unfortunately I couldn't be there.
They maxed out the number of stories that you can have.
What's the number?
Oh wow, it was a lot.
No.
Like 40 or something.
I was watching it pretty much live.
This is the thing. I went back to watch it like when I got home. And I was like, this is not the first.
It's not where it started.
And then I go, okay, on their highlights, because they've maxed it out, that you can only watch it by going through their highlights. But this was like, they were at like game, like the like 4th round of games when I got back, and I could only watch from there without going to the highlights. So they were maxing out. They were pumping out the content.
No,
like it was
quality.
going.
Admittedly, normally I don't like to watch stuff like that. But the content was worth watching as well. I think most of the things that were actually recorded were worth watching. I watched a couple of things a couple times as well, man.
But that's the thing that you're saying. But like in every game, there was at least 3 or 4, not even 3 or 4,
more than
5.
Yeah,
not even 5. Like 10 big plays. Like, I'm talking about on defense, big hits, there's literally like 1 play touchdowns, like 50-yard bombs, or there'll be like 50-yard just run.
Yeah,
and then
Aztecs Won come out of retirement.
I ain't gonna lie. So I've heard of his name a lot. I know of him.
Do you like these kids, bro? You
What?
just don't know.
I haven't even said it. I haven't finished.
I don't care what you're gonna say. It's just not gonna be good enough.
No. I was
It's just
actually
not
gonna
gonna
say
be
it.
good.
I was actually gonna say it. Like, because I was gonna ask if if he was somehow still playing like at some point or something, because he came out of retirement.
He played this.
No, bro. He looked like he had not missed a beat.
So
bro.
this is what I was gonna say.
Bro, he made people look silly. He stepped someone in the hole. The edge was set. It's just the hole. Shoop, shoop. Touchdown. He gets called back for holding. The holding was not the buffer, and they shouldn't have given the
It's not worth it.
They shouldn't have given the holding.
No, but I was gonna say, I've heard a lot about him. I've heard levels, but to come and sort of prove what level you are at by coming out of retirement and still maintaining a standard, very impressive. Very impressive.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. The elite was emphasized yesterday.
All-star.
Bro, let me use my toothpick
What
down.
position?
Defensive line. Bro? No. Bro, I used to put my toothpick down for this one, yeah? So imagine, I get there, and because some faces you know, some you don't. So I see him, he comes in a Coventry Phoenix, like, rolling impulse helmet in it. And then he's got, like, a wrist straps, no gloves. Like, just literally don't your wrist straps.
The wrist wraps, the
Yeah.
drawers.
So I'm like, okay, I don't know.
Don't forget the shorts.
Yeah, he wasn't even wearing lows. He was wearing shorts.
He was wearing shorts.
And
He was wearing a girdle underneath.
Yeah.
He was wearing shorts. And I remember someone from our team like shouting, "Oh, he's got his swim shorts on," and like,
Yeah.
Watch my swim.
No, bro. So I'm literally because we played them in the semi-finals. So I wasn't really paying attention to them before because we had a bit of a break, so we were just like kind of staying warm, doing our own walkthroughs and that. So when we actually played them, and obviously he's on defense, I'm on defense. We're not on the field at the same time. I just see him line up. All right, let's see what this guy can do. Like, he looks normal. As soon as the ball snapped, I just see our center's gone.
Hey.
And then all I then see is just a cloud of dust. And then our QB on the ground. I said, okay, there are levels to this. So then I'm hearing that this guy, like, he was that guy in ELF. Like, you think he was like top 5 in sacks? All-time ELF?
Oh, wow.
Right, listen, bearing in mind, there was at least 3 ELF offensive linemen.
Yep, Lawrence, Keanu.
Lewis.
Even the guy that we had, like, shout out Henry, he was good as well. I think it's Henry Flat.
Oh, Flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Bro,
the standard was there.
Yeah. Bro, like, listen, I know what my strengths are as a defensive lineman. That man,
Yeah.
he got it.
I can't lie.
He got it. Like, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like, the event, you bring in that kind, and it's like, it's not just him. Obviously, Henry Rowlands played in the ELF. We talked about all the linemen who played in the. There's guys who played in Europe and GFL 1 all over, but just like the age, and then the level, and Fossey and Stu come out of retirement for it as well. And yeah, bro, like, man, like, I'm excited for the next one. And to be honest, the next one, they gotta have me on staff doing media, bro.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't want to be involved with no team, bro. I just want to, because that's stressful, bro. Like, you gotta coach. I'm like, I don't know how to coach fives.
Yeah.
At one point, me and Idrissa are crashing out at each other, bro. No, why these men doing their job? I'm like, bro, I've only got 2 quarters.
Yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying. It's stress for them corners, bro.
I've only got 2. I don't have no more DBs. I got 4 linebackers, 2 defensive linemen, 2.
What's the issue with the DB situation?
They're probably getting cooked.
Well, yeah.
They're getting cooked. The one I know is they're getting cooked.
Listen, it's a tough one because, and it wasn't always on for our team anyway. It wasn't always on the DBs. Like, sometimes it's on the linebackers. But it's one of those things where, like, in 11s, right, like, someone can come free because there's been some sort of, either whether it's a pick route or some sort of switch concept, and someone thinks I'm supposed to have this. All of a sudden, 2 are covering 1.
I hear what you're saying.
Do you know what I mean? But in 5s.
Once the route's done, you just go and follow them everywhere then.
Yeah, but in 5, sometimes you don't see, and then sometimes it was the linebacker who just left someone go. But for Driss, and I think that this is where it was tough for defensive linemen, because it's that one-on-one, and now you're trying to chase a QB and he's got 7 seconds. Like, for all of the defensive linemen, you're trying to chase somebody who's more mobile. If you touch earth and now they throw the balls free, you feel in some kind of way, because you're like, man, it's difficult for me to get there. Even if I'm getting there, like, this guy can shift, and then I turn around and someone's wide open.
Different game, innit?
You know what I mean? So it's completely different. So it's a lot of fun. I definitely want coming out of retirement for that because that's absolutely. But you might had it, bro. It was great. And you get to see a whole bunch of like football people, like people who flew down from Scotland for it.
That's my favorite thing about these football events. Even just being at the final, like seeing a lot of old faces that you haven't seen in a while, seeing guys you would have gone up against during the season. I think that's definitely my favorite part.
I want you there, man. They didn't want you for the team.
I wasn't there, man. I wasn't in the country. I was out visiting family. Like I got asked, and when I started hearing more and more about how it was going, the more and more I started getting jealous.
Yeah, you should have been.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. Now, can I just say the next time, and Jordan already knows this, they got to have a food truck there, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no
There was
food.
one
No. So where it was a good. I think
Hertfordshire Cheetahs.
yeah, it's Hertfordshire Cheetahs ground. So the thing is that where the field is a bit of a trek to get back into the actual like
the main
I don't know.
spot. Yeah,
so the clubhouse. So like they do food in there,
But then
it would be
to
better to have it. Yeah.
Bro, I spoke to one of the ladies because it was like proper dinner ladies. Like,
Yeah.
all the ladies. One of them was like, "Oh, we didn't even know something was happening. I just came here with my sister. Now they got her working cooking chips."
You're not.
Man, like, at some point she will like they and that's why I say we got to have a food truck, bro. Like, because I went to go order and I was hungry, bro. We had a 2-hour.
Yeah, it was long.
Like,
Yeah.
you had to wait. You just had to. Unless they're running 4 games at a time, bro. Like, having to wait. But I went to go order. They said, we're not taking food orders right now because we've got all of these orders to make. And it's literally these 3 like dinner ladies, like older ladies who are just like getting busy cooking burgers and chips, bro.
I'm gonna lie to you. It's the same thing with the final. There was one food stand.
The Greek place.
Yeah. And it must have been popping off so much in the first quarter that by the time I went there, no sauce. Like the chicken they gave me tastes like fish fingers. I'm expecting like a Heroes, like a proper like give me a proper kebab style type thing. Yeah, all the stuff in there was breaded, and I was just like, yeah, this is terrible. This is absolutely terrible.
No, but that would be the only thing. No, really. But the day itself, even at the point it rained, I was surprised that people stayed for the final as well. Like, it was good.
It wasn't raining for long, no.
No, but it rained during the semi-final games.
Oh,
so
okay.
like it kind of added a bit more, oomph to the story.
Yeah.
Like, any people slipping.
Yeah.
And then the sun came out for the final.
Hey, bro, and then the sun just came up for the final. I was fuming, yeah. But I remember, obviously, Pemberton's touchdown. It was just like
there's a lot of tight end applications right now from line because Lawrence had it.
Yep.
Lawrence had like 2 or 3 touchdowns. First of all, one from halfway.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Made someone miss.
Yep.
Kieran done his thing as well.
Yep, I saw that.
People to bring him down. You got Tom flying to tackle him.
Nah,
Pembo's talking to me like, I had this many touchdowns.
Yeah, no, Pemberton literally he got the game-winning touchdown in the semi-final. It was rough, bro.
To be fair,
Lewis Thomas got one.
Lewis Thomas, he had a catch in the final, and it wasn't a catch because it did hit the ground, but he's gone like horizontal to make this
really
catch. Boom, landed. It's just the tip of the ball hit the ground, and I'm there like, give it to him. Just give it. Give it to him. He against my team, but give it to him. But this is what I'm saying. Like, first of all, there's some receivers who aren't there now.
Yeah.
You got
Lyman
was doing the business on the day.
Yeah.
I seen some receivers from the videos on the day that weren't like coming back to the ball where they could have done that. So yeah, like a lot of credit to Lewis, man.
No, Lewis when he lay up, and like I said, just the linemen in general, because it was a long day, but then like block someone like Cedric and then slip out, try and make a catch, and do you know what I mean? Like long day for the defensive linemen having to chase about. So it was generally good, but a lot of tight end applications coming out of that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Pembo got a legit shout. Like,
yeah,
you got to throw me the ball. I ain't dropped one yet.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Were people tackling low or getting bounced?
Tackling.
Huh?
Oh yeah.
Bro, there were bodies that weren't getting up, bro.
Bodies hit the floor.
Bro.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Bro,
there were hit sticks.
Now, this is what I think it was very early on when people realized, people hit it.
Yeah.
Because we just nobody knew.
Bro, that was exactly because, like I said, my first few reps when I went up against Jaden, I was like, oh, this is like a leisurely exhibition thing, Like, yeah, cool. So then I just tap him, thinking what's happening. bro, I felt like cinder blocks just hit my arm,
in his
bro.
head, he's like, "Yo, I'm
Hit
about
my
to go
bro.
up against Cedric."
And then I was like, oh, okay, we're being serious. Bro, I struck up, bro.
Yeah, let me get ready, yo.
Back. Nah, man, for real, like some of the just. Do you know what? Just general speed of play.
Yeah.
Some of the like general speed of play hits, and it is fast. And I'm like, do you know this? They got to run this back, and I think even more so. I don't know that they can add more teams because then you probably got to have more fields. It's got to be multiple at once. So I think the way it worked, and even at the time, it was long, but the way it worked out, it was fine. But man, like you also get to see people that maybe you never seen like close up. So East Kent Mavericks, their receiver.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of him.
I think it was like Saquon or
Yeah.
Saquon. Yeah.
Oh wait, is he
played
at
for
GB?
Phantoms. I don't know if he is. I think he's American.
Bro, first of all, he looked the part.
Yeah.
First of all, that man had braids and had diamond beads in the back of his braids. And I was like, all right. And then you just see the first play, climb the ladder, boom. Fam, he make people look crazy, bro. Making people look crazy. And but this is what I'm saying. Perfect for someone like Leo. Who was catching Leo?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody catching Leo. So the running back from the Warriors, little running back from the Warriors, nobody catching him, bro. Like it's you just get to see some of these people up close, and even like people like some of the QBs. So I think the QB for the what team was it? For the not for the Vipers, for the Storm. I don't know what team he plays for, but he did pretty well. Ashley Bailey was obviously there. You know, D's doing his thing. D had a crazy run against us. Where he basically was like, this is the final all over again. Decided, they pitched it back to him and he's taken off and just made, you just like wrap D up when you're trying to tackle him, bro. This is for the whole of the country.
Yeah.
Try and wrap up. Stop trying to hit that man because he built like a brick house. Stop trying to just hit him. He bounce off hook.
Yeah, bro.
Been here.
Hit him. He just spins around.
And then all of a sudden he's in the end zone. And even he had one more run to try and win the game. And like it took the 5 of like somebody's grabbing the back of his jersey, someone pulling his arm. I'm like, bro, just wrap this guy up. Like great day. I can't speak even more.
Like the vibes are immaculate, and then like the trash talking as well, because it's like everyone's trying to be the best. So everyone's just trash talking everyone. But yeah, no, it was.
If this is the standard, then just think about how they can improve it. The small things that didn't go well.
So give me food and put me on some.
And to be fair, like it's not hard to pattern the food. Like get one little food that's prepared.
But it was it was already at that level.
I think like, for it to be that much of a good experience,
small things. Like you can't even complain about the time that you had to wait because they got to play these games.
I was literally about to say the only thing that I could have said could be improved was just the waiting between the games. But that's literally the only other thing I could have said. Everything else was perfect.
How long was the games?
So there were 15-minute halves.
Oh, okay.
But then obviously it's American football, so that it ends up pretty much being like an hour.
This was the thing that was kind of killing.
Yeah,
that's the only thing
but it's volunteers, isn't it?
Yeah, no. I don't even mean like for them as like they did bad, but it's the only thing that stopped the clock. So I think going out now, I don't know if it stopped it.
I don't think so. Only in the 2 minutes, like an actual game.
But yeah, no, it's pretty cool. Once you get down to 5 yards left, you can't run the ball. It has to be a pass. QB has 7 yards to 7 seconds to throw the ball, but you can only scramble behind the line of scrimmage. You can't go forward unless it's like pass back to him.
Can you only score a pass play for PATs?
No. So if you go for 1,
3 yard line,
then you can't pass. But if you go for 2.
Oh, you can't pass?
No, sorry, you can't run. Sorry. You can't
Okay, in the 5 yard
If
zone.
you go for 2, you can pass all right. Yeah.
Okay.
No, but it sounds like it was a wonderful event. And as I said, even just some of the stuff that's dropping from the socials, like it's clear that people that were part of it, they really enjoyed their time. And the way you guys speak of it in glowing terms is...
bro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you guys won. Yeah, you guys won.
Bristol football's up.
Yeah, you know what? I told them, sign me, but they didn't want to sign me. Yeah.
Bristol football's up.
Hey, Pete Jones, get my DMs, man.
Yeah.
He's already there.
Shout out Bristol football.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Royals, man.
It's been your year. It's been Bristol's year.
Shout out to the Royals. Emmanuel Bauer, Aztec champion. Pemberton, Aztec champion.
No, but yeah,
Oh, that's what they did.
You know what? Yes, that is what I'm doing, bro.
Oh, no, I didn't think
that is
that.
exactly what I'm
No.
doing. bro.
I thought you mentioned the two specific people for a reason.
No, because they were on Royal, so
They were on Royal,
so they weren't on the Hellhounds.
Because Royals is meant to be like the
Midlands team.
Midlands team.
It was Midlands, bro.
No, I say Midlands team because like there were people from all over the place.
No, but it was pretty much like Midland North.
Yeah,
Midland
and that's why I said Midlands because like you got what 2 people from Manchester. You got 4 guys from Manchester.
Yeah, 4.
Who the 4?
Josh,
Fossey,
The 2 linebackers, the 2 corners,
Slim Reaper.
and Manny.
as well. Yeah, that's 4.
No, but
Makes
shout out again to the E5's team for one running event. Creating something from nothing is not easy, and they did that in a short period of time and running it well to the point where you really only have minor nitpicking things and glowing reviews of the event. And look forward to what they do whenever they come back next year, hopefully. So yeah, congrats again to that team. Okay. Cool. Oh, and then this has been added. It's not necessarily because of anything to do with the E5. It's just the timing was interesting.
Terrible.
Like the timing was interesting because I remember just being pop up on a BAFA story, and I was just like, why are they suddenly talking about sanctioning American football activities? And at the time, okay, maybe I was in a little bit of a bubble because the only thing I could see on my feed and everywhere for like the past few weeks was E5s. I was like, why are we suddenly drawing this about sanctioned events? Are we trying to make some subtle link here or something? But like, yeah, I was just like,
As far as I know, everything was cleared with BAFA. They've done everything that they needed to do for this event. And I think they confirmed that with the organisers to say, yeah, we're putting this out. It's not about you, but terrible timing.
okay, yeah.
Literally terrible. You could have literally done it today.
Because it's the only thing that's literally that I was even thinking that it is close to this. Like I know obviously people like run caps, you got the O-line masterminds.
Sorry, so this doesn't actually give the detail.
No, this is just I've just taken a snapshot of the heading, but in the story, like yeah, if you read
What's in the story?
it's just basically talking about how like events should be sanctioned on the basis of safety and ensuring that they meet certain standards. And if you look into sanction an American football event, you should reach out to this email, which is basically a BAFA email. And if an event is not sanctioned, then you will not be provided any referees from BAFA. Those are the 3 things I took from it.
But also, you're not covered, if it's not sanctioned, you're not covered by BAFA insurance.
Okay, yeah, and then there's that. And that's basically what was in it, summed up in the quick brief points. But yeah, it was just the timing. I was like, wow, we're getting into the last throes of pumping out the ad campaign for E5s, getting ready for the big day. And then this pops up. I was like, what?
It didn't have any impact, man. 128 players, 8 teams, 2 divisions. Like, spectator-wise, there had to have been maybe another, 100, 200 people.
Yeah, I think when I spoke to Jordan, he said that they sold, I think it was 240 tickets for the event.
Wonderful.
I was like, that is crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, man. So, and then, yeah, obviously $2,000 prize.
$2,000 prize, yeah.
Which will only go up. It will only go up because that was just the first, isn't it?
If divided amongst just the 16 players on the team, that's £125 each, £85 profit.
That's a little
£40
pocket change.
entry fee.
There's definitely opportunities though, because I don't know if you lot have seen, but in Australia and them places, Destroying went to, what was it, this rugby one-on-one thing.
Oh, yeah, where they just run into each other head on.
And if
Oh,
these
why
lot,
they do that?
if these lot
You've
can,
never seen that?
have you not seen it?
Not just running head
Yeah,
on.
It's
Yeah,
literally,
no, bro.
it's literally just like, it's like,
It's just a Polynesian man just.
Oh,
kind of like if we still did Oklahoma's, but we did Oklahoma's as a competition.
And they were 20 yards apart and right there.
Yeah,
So
they just literally just run straight into each other. One person has the ball, one person attack it.
Yeah, it's like that UFC slap thing all over again.
I have seen it. Sorry, I didn't know this. I didn't know that's what it was. I have seen it.
But if you have people, if it gains popularity, you could have potentially people like Destroying come over and
100%.
promote the thing.
no, but yeah, good. Yeah, look forward to it. Now moving on from E5s, just a brief touch back on the Prem. Now that it's all said and done, and the divisions have done, Bristol have won. It's a discussion as to whether or what you guys' viewpoints and stances are on basically condensing the Prem and even possibly intermingling the Prem. Because reality, it's been split here from the top 3 down. Because in reality, the top 3 were the competitive teams in terms of wins, in terms of how they've won, how they performed, and the bottom 2 or bottom 3 weren't really competitive. Now, the caveat with the Nottingham seasons is though that they lost a lot of games. There were games that they were in and close games, but fundamentally in terms of their results, they weren't competitive. So is there an argument for one condensing the Prem North and Prem South and maybe trying to figure out a way as well to get more of that intermingling of games? Like you highlighted with this E5s, one of the benefits is that you got to see matchups you basically rarely never see.
Yeah.
And with the Prem North and Prem South, essentially if you're not in those top two, you will never see the other side opposition and get to put yourself against that and see what that's like. So yeah, I don't know how you guys see it and what your thoughts are.
I maintain that once you have a full 6 teams in the north and you got the same in the south, you have a normal season, except you have to travel to play 2 other teams in the other division, and I think that will spice things up. And those 2 teams that you're going to travel to will change every year. And then we take things like logistics into consideration, where you don't have the London teams traveling to Scotland and Manchester in the same year in terms of the furthest journeys, and potentially it only be like, because it's 2 games, potentially being home and away, not having to do 2 away games, for example, just to deal with costs and things like that. But generally, I think it'd be a good idea to condense it.
I was about to say, do you feel, because you said you'd have the full 6 team rosters in each division and then do that cross, but do you feel like it can sustain having 6 teams in both divisions? Because then what ends up coming into it, strength of schedule really would matter in that situation. Let's say you play your teams and then you end up getting Newcastle, in this example, that have forfeited, or Hertfordshire, while the other team's got to go up and play against Warriors or go play against Manchester or Bristol or Cov. Like they could be really in the fight, and they've got now this ridiculously tough schedule, and they're almost semi being penalised because that's who they got rather than getting Newcastle or Hertfordshire.
Deal with it, innit?
Yeah, I hear it, but bro, you got to show up on the day and play.
Availability is the best ability. It's a major thing in an amateur league.
And Newcastle, as an example, right? So let's say London Blitz got to travel to Newcastle, and London Blitz have done very well. Newcastle aren't doing very well. Well, London Blitz got to be able to travel well. So whilst the schedule plays into it, the team that you travel with plays into it. The teams that obviously benefit the most is like Midlands team, right? Like if you can go both directions, calm. But like if you don't travel well, all of a sudden you get clipped on the day. Let's say it's not Newcastle. Let's say it's EKP or a bit better.
Like EKP didn't travel well this season, but they had their better games at home, from what I remember.
I think it should be. I think there is a case for a national Prem. Yeah. Because low key, like outside of that, I'm trying to see like a division that has Rushmore, Wembley Stallions, London Olympians, East Kent Mavericks. Like
that sounds competitive.
Spicy.
Yeah, it sounds competitive.
Spicy.
And then like I said, with Div 1 this year, I feel like it was more competitive than I've noticed. So watching Mersey, the way they kind of capitalized to a slow start, I think that was really interesting. I thought Yorkshire Rams were going to find their way into the final. They then somehow dropped out of it, and then you've got, I keep mixing them up with stuff. Scunthorpe, right?
Yeah,
Scunthorpe were popped into the conversation as well. So I think these are all teams that have done pretty well in comparison to what we're used to from.
Would you travel to Scotland?
I see like a nice place.
Particularly Edinburgh is a nice place.
No, I mean to play, I know, but that's what I'm saying. It seems like a nice place. I like I said, I do. No,
you got a lot of guys. So like some people who might not make it. You deal with that.
This would be a good game for the players at Jamal's.
The disgruntled, like,
I think the question is,
if all their man just decide to stay at home. Sorry, go on.
I think the question is, what are you willing to sacrifice to have the best play the best? I think traveling is hard, like, but at the end of the day, to better the sport in the country, you want to have the best playing against the best, and it's like if you're gonna have, for example, London go up to Scotland, it's not easy at all. But I think, in my opinion, things like that should happen to allow the game to progress. Because if you have the best team playing against each other, then you can see the skill level and you can see where teams are, like, where they're placed in the country, rather than having to judge it through them playing other teams, which is hard to judge.
Do we, rather than condensing it, do we just expand the playoff 2 number 1 seeds get a first round bye. 2 versus 3, 2 versus 3.
But
I'm here for that. I don't like.
It will end up being the same format anyways.
I don't,
So sorry, I'm
No.
I'm down for extending the
Playoffs.
playoffs because I think a 2-round playoffs is dead. Like, why does the format of Bucks seem so much
there are more
more
teams.
practical? Because there's so.
There are more teams. But I don't know if it's because part of what I feel the challenge with, even if you extend the playoffs and you have one team have a bye, it doesn't deal with the fact that like you could play this sport for like 5-10 years and basically never play against people in the South. And I feel like even if you were to extend it by just one more game and someone have a bye, it doesn't really deal with that. While if you have the case where you have essentially your core division and you play like 80% of your games in your core division, and then every year, similar to like how the NFL works, where you play certain different teams across the different conferences and divisions, you play a couple of the teams at different conferences and divisions. There's always that year that you're playing against the South and measuring yourself against it, and you get an opportunity to see what some of these other ballers are like.
Yeah, like I get it.
I think they make it very interesting.
I just think if we're talking about like what can they do like next year,
Next year, okay.
like more time rather than being able to condense it and actually get. If you extend it, like I think a Coventry London Blitz game would have been fire, and like London Blitz get out, like they don't make the playoffs by half a game, right? Because we draw the final, or the final game of the season. They don't make it by half a game. EKP out by 1 game.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, is that a potential way for it to kind of not be fixed? Because I mean, they don't necessarily think anything's broken. But if you extend the playoffs, then we are seeing like a different matchup. Like, yeah, maybe it ends up being the same anyway, right? Maybe London Warriors are still first, and this year Manchester is still first, and like those happen. But on any day, right, if Blitz got to travel up to you. Is that something that you're saying? Yeah, they're in our house, like they're in our stadium. How does that change? And then you've got the semi-final, and you got to still handle the semi-final. If you win that game, so Scott still play the Warriors. But does that change like potentially how it looks and stuff like that?
Fair. Okay, no, that's fair. So what the sense I'm getting is that it's not like being condensed is as a possible solution, but the core thing is just figuring out ways to give an opportunity for more competitive games and opportunities to play against the South and the North, whether that be condensing it and having like cross-divisional games or extending the sort of playoffs.
So, something, you know what I mean? Like,
it's something.
If you don't finish top 2, and I mean, fair enough right now, like, you don't finish top 2, like, don't even think about it. And I think generally we go, all right, yeah, for the most part, it's pretty clear who's going to finish top 2. But yeah, I think this was one of those years where Litz is right there. EKP is not too far off. Like, a few of those results get flipped. Like, does it mean
anything
more?
could happen? Yeah, like you put all of these teams into a playoff situation, and then travel becomes a factor, and all these other things. Like anything
having a week off, like is it positive? I know you're playing against a team that's just been in a dogfight. Are they even more ready to go? And you had some chance to rest, and maybe you're not in that same mindset. Like, there's just ways that you can spice it up a little bit. But yeah, also not dead weight, but like some of these teams, like it's just. Less blowouts, bro. Like, just
that's what
you want. You want less blowouts.
Foreseeable blowouts, like again, like Hertfordshire Cheetah and the Cats. Like, I don't really see their games or anything like that, but I'm getting this from the people in the South that they're just
fodder.
As Nelly was saying,
Fodder.
the whipping boys. He said fodder.
I mean, when you look at the points, like, yeah.
Yeah, so there should definitely be less games. There should be less games like that. But I mean, if you condense it and you do the cross-divisional thing at the same time and you work out what's going to happen with the lower divisions or something like that, I think long-term, that'll be something I definitely buy into. I know people, especially in those divisions, they'll have a problem with it. But
yeah, it's just ultimately it's just the competitiveness. And I argue I've been a little bit harsh to Nottingham, but that's because their record is what their record is. Although they had competitive games, they lost a lot of them. So
I'm gonna say, while I'm here, because I know I talked down. I seem like I talked down on Nottingham, but I just think they've had a particular year, and I think there's a potential that they will offer something different and a better product next year. Not saying they won't still finish fourth or whatever, but I think they'll have a better product, because if you watch what they did in some of the games, it didn't always look as if they had a plan on how they were going to win the game.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what their offensive identity was in this last year. Each game or every game
In
and
the
a half,
first game,
they would
each
change.
quarter,
They would change what their
I say
offense
each
does
quarter,
completely.
but like, yeah, there's a lot of change.
But yeah, okay, fair enough. No, this is some interesting points, and we'll see what the governing body does. But yes, competition is what matters, and ideally, as a sub benefit of that is opportunity to get
You want
play
more
against,
games like the final.
more games like the final, and more games to have
Really,
opportunities to play against other people.
really want. I mean, to be fair, it's what we want.
Now, getting into something that obviously this is not a political podcast, but this is something that happened during the actual final, where the Warriors were staying up here in the area because they were playing the final because they come from London, and then this is going to happen. I'll let you start off with it, Cedric. But yeah, essentially, I can describe the situation. But if you have anything you want to start off with, then.
I guess it's just a bit sad what's happened. How someone seeing a group of, I don't even know what to call it, like just
Football
group of
players.
adults, football players,
Football
group of
players.
adults, just doing something together has just come across misconstrued. Because it's so funny because we saw people like walking past and stuff, but people were coming up to us asking, and then I'd be like, "Oh, good luck," this is that. But it is those few people who just built a own narrative in their own head and then spewed it out, and it's like completely wrong. So much so that we've been talking where we were we're literally training behind the or walking through behind the hotel. There is no back door, so like unless
Oh yeah, I know this as well. Like, there's no back door.
there-
So when
there's
I
no
seen
back
it, I was
door.
just like, what?
so it's like you live in the area, Claire. Like it's like, but anyways,
You've done it nice, bro. Say her name, fam. Claire.
I've only got over.
no, but it was sad, but it's kind of what it. And then it's just, I guess the comments as well didn't really help. With like when you actually read the feed at the time, people not believing, people just being like, yeah, they are immigrants, and it's like
It's
we've-
crazy.
It's so funny because some of us actually represented the country for you in the sport. It's like, yeah,
Multiple, yeah.
yeah, we had GB captains there.
Yeah.
It's you being real soft about it. And I know you guys was the victim of it, but fam, for the rest of us, it's nonsense, bro. Because like whether or not American football is a popular sport in this country, fam, you've won Great Britain across your chest, and you represent the country with pride. Not just you, Jamal as well. Like Ben's on that team. Fam, you got plenty of people, and for them to just turn around and be like, oh, and I know the times that we're in, and I get it. The people, they want their country back, whatever. But some of us are generations here.
Yeah,
bro.
no, it's true.
Some of us are it's nonsense. Bro. I'm like having to deal with that. It's just I felt it, bro, because I talked to you, I talked to Jamal, I talked to Tom.
Yeah.
I'm like, people are. It's hurtful.
Yeah, no, it is. I find it like so interesting that people move like this, like because I think it's so important to like being aware that you live in a world that no man or no person is an island. You have to have a standard and hold yourself to it. And that's not to say that if you talk about controversial topics or you're dealing with stuff that's like around a protected characteristics such as race, that you can't have these controversial discussions and speak on it if that's what your belief is, fine. But I think in those sort of scenarios, it's where it's even more important that you don't just be blindly ignorant. You must go and at least look to interact, confirm, behave, and act. You can't just blindly go, oh, because down in one place, oh yes, we had some immigrants in a hotel, and that's what the government's doing. That now, anytime I see a group of non-white people, I'm just going to assume that this is what's going to happen without looking to interact with it.
So this is where my issue was, because like she was corrected, and then she's on,
and then she doubled down.
Like she's tripling down.
Yep.
Like she's. Did you see the comments? Sorry, she's replying to comments in the comment section on some "don't tell me how to feel" type thing. I've got 3 daughters. How would you feel? And it's like,
What does that mean?
it just like
The
forget all of that.
last bar is the worst. I'm not a racist. I'm a mother.
Oh yeah, when
It's mad how people like this exist, you know. Like you wouldn't think. Like
You
like
had a
a
situation.
couple of days
like,
ago, I was
yeah.
working and me and this guy were just talking. I'm serving a customer, like nothing's happened. Cool. He hears my name. My manager's called my name, Abdul. This guy has absolutely turned into a completely different person. Just disgust. And it's like I'm walking off now to go and deal with whatever I have to, and I hear him say, "Of course he doesn't know about this country." I am born and raised in this country. and I have pride for it, of course. But it's like, because where I'm from, Wolverhampton, it's really diverse.
Yeah.
And you don't deal with that type of stuff up front. When it happened to me, I was in shock. I was like, there's no way this has just happened. But it's like times like this, although there are people like that, it's times like this that I really look at it and it's like, it brings the community together. Because to see how many people rally around the Warriors and like rivals, people that you guys have faced on the pitch, whatever's happened, blah, 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 all coming together, showing support.
Yeah.
That's the type of things that you can have a positive outlook from this. But it's like, it shouldn't be happening in the first place. And it's like, me personally, it's just for real.
It was nice to see, especially, I guess, it was a bit weird because we didn't know any of this happened until after the game. So I'm now on the coach show, and bear in mind that we're all in pain, like some people emotionally, mostly physically, like, and then you go on our phones and then we just see this and we're like, what the hell? And then I think the first comment that was made, and like the first thing that I saw about it on social media from an outlet, which was Sport Tank, I think there was like, oh, something to add to Warriors' woes. And I was like, oh, that doesn't really, that kind of feels a bit, but then again, everyone came together because they didn't mean it in a bad way. But then like, exactly. But so like, I kind of understood what they meant, but some people were getting a bit pressed about that. But then obviously they showed solidarity in that. People wanted to understand more as to like why this is, of course, when you read it, you understand how it can affect you, but they want to understand a bit more as to like why it's affected. And then some comments were made from some people, which was a bit insensitive, but then they
super insensitive.
Yeah, like basically after the final, on a Sport Tank post, one of the Bristol players like posted a comment, and they got deleted. There was something about sending them back on the boats or something.
It's just
I think he was just trying to be like white boy banter, but like you can't do that.
They kicked him off the
your
team.
audience.
It's as simple
so
as
bad.
that. It's have you ever heard of too soon?
No, like, bro, there's
too
no,
soon.
there's
It's
no
just-
need
it's
for
like-
that.
like,
Like
just-
even like I get, because sometimes as a player from the rivaling team, you're gonna do some stuff that is too far, and I can see why he's done it, but it's definitely in poor taste. Like the execution is definitely
Terrible.
poor. Like
No,
it's terrible.
There's no need
But
for that.
yeah, exactly. But the thing is that, and this is something we were talking about before, where it's like, yes, there are rivalries, but like you're not really part of it. You've inherited the beef.
Yeah.
And I say like there's no reason to hate us in terms of in your eyes. So, exactly, it's literally a 1 year rental. Like you're only there for 1 year.
Been there for 1 year.
You're there. Like, so then for you to then make that comment, it's like it's not actually part of the rivalry. It's just like, I don't know what you thought was
just
going
silly.
to happen.
It's just silly and stupid, and it's one of those ones like when you have if you've got a close group of friends that know your banter and know your whatever you do, and you say it to them, and they won't necessarily super judge you like the world will, but they'll be like, yeah, you can't be saying that kind of stuff. It's just poor. But yeah, it's unfortunate this has happened, and like it's obviously not what we're not looking for, like racial tensions, particularly when you're just going to go play in a final. But it shows you the current climate we're in. But like Abdul highlighted, like the community came together, showed support for the Warriors, who they fought against, and a lot of people despise because of some of the stuff they do. So like, but it shows that it's bigger than football, and that is what it is. So it's unfortunate, but it happens. And then this is the statement that the Warriors eventually released, which I thought was nice, as a good touch to take it head on and highlight some of the stuff that what the Warriors' mission is, because the Warriors, as we've alluded to several times, they don't really drop content, they don't put stuff out there. It was interesting, at least for me, to see it like this sort of statement, to highlight that it's clear what their focus is about being there for the community and helping to uplift some of the children and the kids and the adults who are within their area, and give them something that helps give them discipline, something to focus on, and help them progress into adulthood. And it was good to just see it verbalized, because like,
Because I guess that was the stigma behind the Warriors before, because I think even the Warriors Facebook page is still called like London Warriors Urban American Football Team or something. And I guess when you think about old school Warriors, you're thinking like the big guys, like the thugs, but it was keeping them off, actually giving them something to do. I mean, like an after school club sort of thing that we always talk about. So the mission behind the Warriors, and the whole reason why the Warriors exist, is for a good reason. It's to help deprived players, like the NFL Academy was before. Exactly. So then for us, or for the team to then face this, is a bit crazy. But again, it just shows that how the nation is at this point. But it's really nice to see everyone come together. So we appreciate the community in supporting the team.
Now, that's pretty much the end of the adult ball season, and that will be us talking on it for a little while.